Hello everyone, I'm Aimnun, and today we're going to be talking about Hellbound and why it failed. Hellbound is an indie 90s inspired FPS game made by Saibot Studios, a small team of devs that loved the way FPS games were designed and functioned in the 90s. Their goal was to make a game that was inspired by games like Doom, Duke Nukem, and other classic 90s shooters that had a tough, badass protagonist that did one simple thing: kicked ass. Personally, I believe they achieved this in the best way possible, being more like original Doom than the new Doom games. But they simply did not meet enough sales to continue development of the game after its complete release. First thing we'll talk about is the start of the project. The game started off as a Kickstarter all the way back on May 9th of 2018, run by the main dev and mind behind the game, Tobias Rustin. He has also worked on other games such as the Doorway series. These horror games would help shape the aesthetic for the hell level design in Hellbound. The Kickstarter only asked for about $40,000 to make the game, which they would get after the Kickstarter reached its goal in June of 2018. As incentive to pledge, the team at Saibot had some really good gifts. At $5, you would get your name in the game's credits and 2 desktop wallpapers. At $20, you would get everything from the previous and a digital copy of the game. At $80, you would get your own headstone in the game modeled after your head. At $150, you would get your own bust modeled after yourself in the game. And at $250, you would get your own full body statue modeled after you. Finally, at $5,000, you would actually get to meet the devs along with everything else. There were more tiers and gifts, but those were the main ones that shocked me when I first saw the Kickstarter. They gave you the opportunity to actually appear in the game, something I haven't seen before in a Kickstarter game. You might be thinking 40 grand isn't much to fund a full FPS game with multiple devs working on it, and you would be right, which is why we're going to talk about a very important thing when it comes to game development that can either make or break a game. Funding might be the most important thing in game development world, even more than coding and almost as much as creativity. The Kickstarter for Hellbound only asked for 40 grand, a small amount for the team's size. This 40 grand was meant to fund simply one level of the single player campaign mode and finish their survival mode. This way they would have something to pitch to investors and publishers. Before finding a publisher, Saibot Studios was lucky enough to receive a dev grant by Epic Games, since Hellbound was being made in Unreal Engine.
For the investment, this time we got a national government funding, a Kickstarter, and even an Unreal dev grant from the awesome people at Epic Games.
They soon after received a third-party investor that would allow them to create an entire episode for the campaign. A few Kickstarter updates later, on September 27, 2018, they revealed that they found a publisher for the game that would allow them to finish the single-player campaign for Hellbound. The publisher being NGD Studios, who would soon change their name to Nimble Giant Entertainment. This company was also based in Argentina, just like developers of Hellbound. This being, in my opinion, one of the main reasons Saibot chose them to be the publishers, because it is easier to work with a publisher when they're close to your location, for many reasons, including in-person business meetings, and being able to not need translators, etc. if you're working with a foreign company. Something that may have been overlooked when they were discussing funds was funds for a big part of the game. The game had very minimal marketing, if any at all. This lack of marketing, in my opinion, is the main reason for the game's failure. When it comes to video game development, marketing is the most important thing to focus on next to funding. This truly showed, as when the game was finished, it was one of the best single-player shooters I have ever played, yet no one was talking about it. The team at Saibot are obviously very talented. The game had a trailer, of course, but it wasn't really promoted with ads across YouTube at all. Most people haven't even really heard of the game. Big YouTubers didn't play it either, which is a big part of the marketing nowadays, which is getting YouTube gamers to play the game. Only small YouTubers who had been following the Kickstarter, like myself, ever really played it and uploaded videos on it. Something that slowed the spread of people finding out about Hellbound was the announcement of the new Doom Eternal. Once people heard the name Doom, they didn't give Hellbound the time of day. There's something special about games in this style. The way they play with the fast-paced combat mixed with the pure violence. It's games like these that so many of us grew up on. Be it if you grew up on Doom, Duke Nukem, or Wolfenstein. They all fit that niche of fast-paced 90s FPS. Hellbound is a love child, an ode to a time when Quake ruled the world. A time when we all sat in front of our PlayStation 1 or slow-as-hell computer refusing to blink as we play these games of our childhood. Nostalgia is a very powerful emotion to pull when coming up with a video game. It can make the most simple of games very enticing, as it makes you think back to when you were a kid. Be it if it's a 3D platformer like Yooka-Laylee, meant to give you that nostalgia from playing Banjo-Kazooie as a kid, or Hellbound, giving you the nostalgia from some of the best games around. In my opinion, Hellbound will become a cult classic in the years to come. Soon there will be adults reminiscing about when they were kids playing Hellbound. In conclusion, despite you having made an insanely good game and have the perfect game to pull on everyone's nostalgia, if you don't have powerful marketing to back up the game, then no one will know about the game. Meaning no one will buy it, meaning you're left with a work of art worth so much money, yet you yourself have none. Hellbound is a lesson in game development. No matter how good your game is, no matter how hard you worked, your game might fail. You might not make any profit from it. I absolutely love the game that the guys at Saibot made. They make me want to continue my childhood dream of making games. And sound design. They are some of the most talented devs I've ever seen. They recently stopped development on Hellbound and said they are moving on to another project. Hopefully their next project is set in the Hellbound universe. If not, then whatever it is, I know it will be amazing. Thank you, Saibot, for the amazing experience you gave us. Thank you for letting me feel the joy I had as a kid playing Doom for the first time. Thank you.